Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Great to be back. Got back from Nashville last night. Had a chance to participate in the NFL Accelerator event, and I really appreciate Coach Flus, Ryan Poles nominating me, the McCaskey family. Um, Kevin Warren. It was an outstanding event, very informative, and I'd like to think that not only was the information useful and valuable for me, but these are things that can enhance my role and I can pass along to my colleagues. So, really excited to be back, and we had a really good practice outside today. The guys were really flying around, really salty, and first week has been really good. So, with that, I'll take your questions.
What was the most significant takeaway for you from Nashville? Just being there yourself.
Well, just having access, it was unprecedented access with all of the club owners and executives, and just getting a chance to sit down. I did a mock interview, a chance to sit down and to interact and to with them on that level and in that context, and just to continue to grow as a professional. And some of the things that impact me in my role now, and some things that will impact me uh, as I consider and move toward the next chair.
Coach, now that you've gotten the chance to get your hands on some of on this defense, albeit in a limited basis, is there anybody that's kind of like jumped out to you and showing you something that maybe you didn't even see on tape or scouting report so far?
Well, I'm just excited about the growth of the entire unit. When I was here a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the back seven. I'm really excited about what the defensive line is doing. I see revised and refined pass rush fundamentals, uh, and I just see a group that's really working together right now. That has a lot of energy. That they're developing the attitude that we're going to need going into the season.
Eric, I think you said the players were salty today.
Mhm.
Is that something that you preach, and how does that manifest itself?
Well, it comes from it starts with Flus, goes through our entire staff, and I think that's just a part of their DNA. But definitely, we want to play with an edge. We want to compete with an edge. We want to compete like we're the best unit on the field, and that's something that you have to back up with how you play, how you study, how you invest. And I just really I like the spirit. I like the attitude out there, even in the format that we're working against, and I just feel really good about where we are.
Do you think going up against the number one pick in the draft is a motivator for defensive players?
Well, you'd have to ask the guys that. I know. I don't think it matters who's out there. I think when we're out there, and I think they take a lot of pride in just competing and winning and trying to get the best of that situation, the best of the person that they're working against. And it starts right now with Bears against Bears, and we want to carry that into the preseason and obviously the regular season.
Does it look to you like your defense is well ahead of the offense right now?
I'm not measuring us against them. I'm just measuring what we're doing against just being able to document our progress and just really assess what we're doing against the goals and the values that we have.
Do you like the sort of the playing with a little flash with the bird thing, everything else going out there? It seems like there's a lot of talking going on out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We're challenging ourselves. We're going to challenge the opponent, and our guys are going to back it up. And that's the thing. And they're going to do that with. They've been doing it since we started. They're here every single day, or they've been here. They've taken full advantage of this program, and they're eager to go out and show uh, who they are and how much they've improved and what they want to be.
Going off Pat's question, I mean, they talk about the defense going up against him, but for him, for a rookie quarterback, this is probably a pretty tough defense to practice against. That could help him down the line.
Without question. And we'd like to think that that would be a byproduct of his growth and development, just having to go against some of the exceptional seasoned players that we have on the line of scrimmage and in our back seven. And we all have a vested interest in wanting to see that young man grow and to become battle tested and to be ready on day one. So, and we're going to give him everything that we have every day.
I know you don't coach DJ, but you've been with DJ before,
Sure.
and you've coached against him before. What makes him such a challenge for defensive coordinators?
Well, just the run after catch. I mean, his ability, he turns into a running back once he possesses the football. And I remember that going back to when he was first drafted. He's very dangerous once he gets the ball in his hands. And so you have to do a great job of not letting him catch the ball, first of all, and then just doing a good job being really efficient as far as your tackling is concerned.
Wait, before you get into pads, how can you assess where this pass rush is and what it may still need to be what you expect from this unit this year?
Great question. Just the quickness, the fundamentals, being able to address position fundamentals relative to that. And there's just watching the level of conditioning that we need, watching the guys work together. I mean, there's some things that we can do. When we're working against the offense, we call it rushing that 80%. 20% we can't affect, and that's following through and actually hitting the quarterback. But the other 80%, working our edges, being aware of the situation, knowing how to address our four-man rush on third down, how to work off of each other, how to communicate, that's a part of that 80%, and I really like what I'm seeing.
Will there be some, I guess, like maybe an adjustment period for you, what going against this quarterback who, I know today obviously no contact for a while, but like plays getting blown dead. I mean, he's somebody who's gotten his way out of a lot of sacks in the past. Is that something, will you be able to gauge that from practice of like what actually will be a sack at some point when you are getting closer to that versus like what, how difficult he's going to make that on?
Definitely. I mean, his ability to make off schedule plays is well documented, and that's a nightmare for defensive coordinators. It's a nightmare when you decide to rush forward, especially if you decide to send a fifth or a sixth guy. You have to be really good in the back end, and you have to get the guy down. And we actually work mobile quarterback fundamentals because it's a high risk, high reward proposition, and this young man can really extend plays. He can hurt you if he's allowed to get out of the pocket and to break down the coverage in that way. So it'll be a good test for us and a good practice for us with some of the quarterbacks that we'll see throughout the year.
Now that you've got him on grass for a couple days, how do you assess the work that Gervon did in the offseason to fine-tune and polish all the things that he needs to?
Just watching the footwork, some of those small but very, very important details with him. Watching his stance, watching his pad level. He's a big, tall guy, and so it's in his best interest to play with great pad level. And so just watching those things, watching him have to adjust what he's doing as the parts are moving and receive communication. And I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing is just how assertive he is. And you can tell that there's a growing confidence. He's assertive. He believes that he belongs in the lineup, and he believes that he can be a major factor.
What's been your perspective on Kevin Byard's career from afar, and what's been like getting him in the room, getting to know him, and getting him on the field now?
Well, fortunately, I've been aware of Kevin for a while. I had a chance to coach one of his teammates, Daquan Jones, at Buffalo, and those two guys worked together for a long time, and so I was aware of Kevin. His production speaks for itself. And so from afar, you look at that and you see a safety who has that type of ball production. And then when you get him here, you can see the command, the intelligence, his ability to communicate very, very quickly, and especially as we need to make adjustments before the ball is snapped. And I just like him. I mean, he's got a great personality. He's done a lot of things in his career, but he's a humble person. And very receptive, very open. So that's the kind of guy you want to be around.
What can Austin Booker show you in this situation? No pads. I mean, it's hard to tell. What can he show you that will give him the best shot, or is definable in your eyes as, hey, this guy can help us when the light goes on?
The first thing is execution. As we start to install this defensive package, he needs to, execute his assignment, get lined up and just execute and do that with a lot of speed, quickness, and velocity. That's the first thing. And then to show me, even in this format, non-contact, and we can only get to a certain point, that he understands how to set up the offensive tackle or whomever as a one-on-one rusher. He knows how to put himself in position to counter. And I can look at that and say, it's reasonable to anticipate that this would have been a hit on the quarterback or a sack fumble or any of those things. But the assignment piece right now for him is big because if he's thinking or processing, that's not helping us. So just as we continue to install this package, I want to see him process the call very, very quickly, get lined up, and then explode when the ball is snapped.
When Sweat's not here,
I beg your pardon?
when Montez Sweat's not here, Does he patch into meetings on Zoom, or how does he stay involved?
Yeah, Montez, as I've been in contact with him, and he's been an active participant. And I talked to him right before I went to Nashville, and we had the chance to visit, to debrief, and to just talk about where we are in the off season. So he stayed connected to the off season, and I'll be excited as he continues to take advantage of the off season.